It's been a quick tourney so far. Let's get into these finals. Best of 5, PVZ. Spawning in the lower right-hand corner of Dragon Scales, we have Dragon Kitesy Gaming's herO. Took down Classic in the PvP. His opponent in the upper left-hand corner took down Dark in his mirror matchup. It is Dong Ray Gu, an old school player. One of the oldest professional players we have, actually, in StarCraft, which is kind of crazy. There's a lot of old people that play StarCraft, but not very many of them are good. So I remember reading, actually, not reading, hearing some of the pro players talk about, at least in Europe, how they just don't really practice ZVZ because there are so few Zergs they need to practice against, like to play against, that it felt like it defeated the purpose to practice it because you'd be practicing against the people you'd be playing against or something like that. I don't know. It didn't really seem to make much sense to me. I feel like you should probably practice all the matchups. But it seemed kind of funny that like ZVZ was the one the players were like, I'm just not going to super practice it. I feel like it could really benefit from some crispy builds. And that, I mean, who knows? That could have been exactly what DRG did. Because I think if the top players aren't super crisp on their build timings and maybe don't have as good of a sense in that matchup as they do other matchups, a player who maybe isn't as mechanically strong can do wonders with a good build order. And DRG taking down Dark. DRG is very good, don't get me wrong, but Dark is definitely the more mechanically gifted player. And usually has a very strong sense of where the game is going. He has a very good star sense. Maybe the best star sense of the pro players. But there's not a ton of top Zergs left in Korea to play against. You know, we don't have Rogue anymore. I don't know if Su plays a ton. He has been kind of here and around a little bit in the last year. But I don't know if he plays like a ton on ladder or practices with these guys a ton. So you have like Dark and Ragnarok and DRG on the Korean server. I do feel like there's been a bit of a fall off of ZVZ from a few years ago. As annoying as it was to see it like every single day, the ZVZ in 2018 and 2019 was so good. Oh, and Solar, of course. I knew I was forgetting somebody in there. Yeah, 2019 was like peak ZVZ. Which, I mean, it makes sense because we saw it all the time. That BlizzCon top 8, though, is mildly painful. But we got a little PVZ here on our hands. Protoss versus Zerg. herO should be fairly favored in this matchup. But I'd love to see what DRG's got to pull out here. I don't expect herO to do anything too crazy. DRG oversaturating this gas. This is definitely the strat. If you guys don't know, 5 out of 3 on gas is the way to go. He's just trying to mine some extra gas for a little while there. Valley Council and Forge going down. Do we think it's going to be Charge or Blink from herO? My bet is usually Blink. Ooh. Oracle getting a little low, but does get out of there. Just 3 drones going down. This is, you know, this is the early game PVZ stuff. While everybody just macros, we wait for something fun to happen. The real thing is trying to see if DRG wants to do something cheeky. And right now, he's just going for the +1 melee. This is pure macro from the boys. And I love to see it. I love to see it. This is a good stage-setting game for the best of 5. It is, of course, going to be Blake. Queens and Lings trying to push this away. The 2 Stalkers and 2 Oracles, but... Alright, we're still droning. hero's still chilling. So, how are you guys doing out there in chat? Hope you guys are having a great day. An enjoyable Friday evening or Saturday morning, depending on where you are in the world. Oh, all right, see, this is the trick. You start talking about something not related to the game and immediately action happens. DRG kills 2 Adepts. Wow. I'm actually heading to Denver for a few days this week, so I'm leaving tomorrow morning. It's going to be a very difficult plane ride to attend, but take a nice little trip to Denver, visit some family. Looking forward to that. hero's got the door closed, but he's got to close it a little more firmly. That Adept is going to die. And the Lings are in. +1 melee Lings against poor innocent probes. The Oracle's going to come back to help. A few Stalkers coming back as well. This is actually pulling hero's attack all the way back. This is a beautiful run by from DRG. In the meantime, he's got more Lings out. He's got Roaches on the way. Oh my god, and he's going to find this proxy. The warp-in at the worst possible time, and it's slow warp-ins. They are not helping these Stalkers at all. DRG trying to target down these warping in units, but herO will push this away. The triple Oracle now helping the Stalkers out against the Lings, and herO is going to continue this push. Now, Roaches have had time to come out, but as those Lings have dwindled in number, does DRG have enough here to actually take this fight? He's trying to morph some Ravagers. The Queens are coming over as well. Looks like he will push this away for now. Might give time for some of those reinforcement Lings to show up. The Ravagers are going to be very, very nice as well. A little more range. They can drop those vials. Make it a little harder for herO to take a fight here. herO wants to keep the pressure on, though. He does have charge and +2 coming up behind this, but he's trying to push forward into this 4th base. Another Ling run by going to hit here. There's just 1 cannon. The warp-in from herO is going to be crucial. It will be enough to push this away. Oh my god. Oh, I thought for a second there wasn't going to be a warp-in. The door was almost open. This has given DRG enough time to get out more units. He should be able to push this Stalker army back, and he's going to try to keep on pushing it. He's going to take down this shield battery. The Lings, the +1 melee Lings, pushing these Stalkers away really, really nicely. herO trying to take a very forward base, but DRG is just building more units. He's on 67 drones. He's just going to go for it here. Oracle's trying to get on top of the Queens. They will get 1. Not going to get too much more than that. DRG has a Hive coming up as well, but still not droning at all. His +2 melee is about to finish, and I think he wants to try to go kill this base. Or as I say that, he starts up 6 drones. Oh no! Oh, please tell me it's not me. Oh, it's Light. Dang it, Emil. Poor Light. Light's internet. We blame the Australian internet for this. RIP. I don't actually know if I can send messages in this. Well, that's sad. Fortunately, there wasn't actively action on the map right now. hero's rotating around a little bit. Rest in pepperoni. Ah, that sucks. It always sucks losing internet in the middle of a game, but middle of game 1 of the finals, that really hurts. That really hurts. All right, back to the game. The cranky duckling has left. DRG runs into these Stalkers a little bit. It looks like he was trying to send a run-by through. Oh, hero's going to run forward, but he's going to get trapped here as the Lings come in from behind. fully wrapping around these Stalkers. A beautiful move from DRG. The Stalker's going to try to blink away, but the Lings were prepared for it, and they get the second wraparound. Every Stalker out on the map going down. DRG takes a great trade, but in the meantime, his fourth base getting jumped on by a second force. He's just sending the drones away so he doesn't lose too many. Lings are going for a counterattack. These are +2 melee Lings. They are eating through this defense. More Zealots warping in. The recall goes down. The Lings are going to have to run away. That pulls herO's army all the way back. And now DRG is going to go on the offensive. He's up 50 army supply, and he wants to hit this fourth base. Says, you killed mine, I'm going to kill yours. Hero decides to, or DRG rather, decides to pull back. Does have this Ling counterattack trying to bust through, but it is not going to make it. The Oracle's again getting a bunch of damage here, killing the Queen that was here. Oh man, herO getting some great counter damage. This is so good for herO because his base is still alive, but DRG turns right back around. He goes in for it. He needs to get damage done. He's down a bunch of workers right now. His bases just aren't fully saturated, but if he can get the kill here, it will not matter. The Oracles are doing their best. There's 4 of them. There's 3 of them, but they just don't have the DPS. Another one shows up, but so many probes going down. The whole fourth base is just in complete shambles. herO losing 34 workers, and GG DRG takes game number 1. Man, is this the resurgence of Dong Raigu? Are we seeing the comeback of the one true Dong? Damn. Those were some moves. herO tried to just crunch him, and it did not work. All right, game 2 is going to be on Ancient Cistern. Old man never die. I love it. I love it. Yeah, when are the GSL qualifiers? Anybody know what the GSL qualifier date is? I wish there was like casting for that. I'd love to cover them. It's Monday. Oh, wow. That's so soon. That's fantastic. Tuesday. Well, I guess probably depends on where you are. Sorry, we're making sure everybody's in the lobby. I think we're good now. But yeah, excited to see if DRG can make it in. I mean, if he's in this form where he just 2-0 Dark and now he's up 1-0 against herO, he'd be hard pressed not to make it in. But I don't know, the competition's really steep. The thing about the Korean region is there's like, you have your solid players on top, and cracking into that, I guess it is like the top 16 is so difficult. And DRG's like right, I feel like he's right on the outskirts of that with a couple of other players. Makes it so hard to get in there. Actually be interested in seeing who else he'll be competing with, really, to get into that GSL, the next GSL season. But in the meantime, we have the KSL to worry about. Spawning in the lower left-hand corner of Ancient Cistern. It is our Protoss player, Dragon Kitesy Gaming's herO. His opponent in the upper right-hand corner is none other than Dongregu. DRG on a team right now? Let us find out. Doesn't look like he's on a team at the moment. Says he last played for Abydos. Man, it's cool looking at, like, some of the player Wikipedia pages are kind of short. DRG's is so long. Is crazy long. So funny. He's just been around so long, playing this game, killing it. Back in the day, he was one of the strongest Zerg players in the world. Yeah, Gumiho is also teamless at the moment. It's a little more common these days, I think, for players to be without a team. We did just get Twisted Minds on the scene, picking up Classic and a couple of other players, but not Korean players. Picked up some European players, I think. But it's a hard world out there for teams. We really gotta send our appreciation to the teams that do exist and do still support this game. A lot of them are doing so just out of the pockets and the kindness of people who love StarCraft and love this community, and very appreciative to those who continue to support this game. But anyways, game number 2. Stargate going in the wall for herO. All right, okay. Is that water as loud for you guys as it is for me? Maybe I need to change a setting. Let me not accidentally leave this game. Is there ambient sounds? Yeah, I think we turned this down, right? Maybe like 40? I think that's okay. Let me know how the game sounds are, guys. This is a new account because I got locked out of my main account, so I am not on my usual account right now. So all my settings, or a lot of my settings got changed. And you know, the thing is, when you've had an account for, I mean, what has it been now? Like 12 years? Yeah, 12 and a half years I've had that StarCraft account. You don't remember all the settings you've changed over the years, you know? And even like, since I started playing StarCraft on stream and casting StarCraft, like, it's been years. My first StarCraft cast was 5.5 years ago. I have no idea what settings I changed. I don't have a clue. I just hope that some of the changes are saved locally. And a lot of them are, but some of them I have to like go in and physically change. I'm like, I think this is close to what I had it at. Yeah, I hope I can get my account back. I should be able to. Literally all that happened. And hold on, let's see if these oracles get some damage done, and then I'll describe my BattleNet issues. Or they're just gonna run into an empty mineral line. All right, cool. And herO, you baited me into not telling my story. Oh, dude, he canceled all of those larvae, so that the oracles couldn't get too much damage done. That's fantastic. So my computer logged out of BattleNet, and this hasn't happened in like years, right? It just was logged out for no reason. I have no idea why. Okay, fine, whatever. I'll log back in, and it's like, you need an authenticator code. Well, I just got a new phone, so I was like, oh damn, I don't know if that'll work, because I just got a new phone. So I check, and the authenticator app that I used for Blizzard is so old that they don't use it anymore. So I tried to open it and it was like, you need to download this new app and like use that to authenticate. But the app is just Battle.net. And to get to the authenticator on your phone on Battle.net, you need to log into Battle.net. Which to log into Battle.net, I need the authenticator on my phone app. But to view the authenticator on my phone app, I need to log into Battle.net on my phone app. Do you see the issue here? Because I wasn't logged in on my phone or my computer, I have no way of authenticating my account. So then I had to open a support ticket. But it's the middle of the night, so nobody's there. So I get a response in the middle of the day when I'm at work. So then I respond when I get home today. But now I have to wait again, but now I'm going on vacation. So I have no idea when I'm going to get this account back. All I have to do is prove that I am the account holder, which should be very easy to do since I streamed on that account for the last 6 years. It should be pretty easy to prove it was me. That being said, I did a lot of builds just like this. Big old charge lot all-ins. If you covered up the names, this could be my account. herO's trying to just pop DRG right now. These drones are in a lot of trouble. While we were talking about Battle.net, herO studied the blade, the Psy Blade. And he's trying to crack this DRG though. He's got a good hold in the natural, but is the natural hold going to be good enough? The stasis trap actually protecting these drones for right now. The third base is still alive. The Queens and Lings trying to come out and fight this. Zealots trying to get on top of them. Another stasis trap. Oh, but it just catches a few Lings. The Roaches, though, getting caught as well. More Roaches coming out. DRG, does he have enough to hold on here? It's starting to feel like he might, but as more Zealots warp into this Prism, this is getting a little bit dicey. Starting to push back through these Roaches. It doesn't look like there's any more transfuse energy on the Queens. Queens are going to start going down. The Roaches desperately trying to hold. More Zealots warping in, more Roaches on the way. The drones have finally escaped, but now there's a depths behind the drone line. herO is stopping any mining, and GG's gonna get called. herO charge lot all inning in game 2 to take it. What a Chad move. What a Chad move. DRG just not realizing what it was until a little too late. He almost had enough Roaches, it felt like. I think in that situation, maybe it's better to just sack the third. But I don't know. That's a tough call to make when herO had a third behind that. As the Zerg, you really put yourself in a bad position no matter what. I should show that match and say that my account is herO. That's the real play. And then I get his account. What do I do with his account, though? Do I, like... I'm not going to win any games. There's just no chance. I'm so bad at this game. Hi, Smurf. Reverse Smurf. There we go. There we go. All right, game 3 is going to be on Neo Humanity. We're all tied up. This is best of 5. We're going to game 3. It's kind of nice. Hopefully we get a 5-game series. That would be actually so sick. I don't think resetting my password is going to work because to log in, I'm still going to need to authenticate. Even to reset the password, it might try to make me authenticate. The authenticator seemed like such a good idea until it wasn't. Do you guys remember the old school Blizzard authenticators? It was just like a keychain. That was dope. Honestly, they should bring that back. They should bring that back. That was the jam. I'd get a keychain authenticator these days. It sounds way cooler than an app. What do you guys think? Way more secure too, you know? The real physical thing. Ah, the old days. The old days and the good days. Let's get into game 3 here as Infinity 1672 gifting a sub, just gifting that community sub out to Shiraksh. Welcome to the flock, Shiraksh. Thank you, Infinity. Appreciate that. Spawning in the upper left-hand corner of Neo Humanity, we have the Dragon Kitesy Gamer, herO. Opponent in the lower right, the Zerg. Dongray Gu, the teamless man. Now, teamless doesn't mean he can't win, though. We all learned from Beyond. You don't need a team to be a god. Maybe that was the death of teams in StarCraft 2. It wasn't like Kespa dying because of life. It wasn't like Blizzard not funding the esports anymore. What it really was is Beyond won without a team at the height of teams being like super OP in StarCraft 2 in Korea. He won a GSL and then the World Championships. And everybody's like, oh, actually, maybe we don't need those. Maybe we don't need a team. It's really funny that herO felt the need to bust out, like... I hesitate to call it a charge lot all-in, but it was a very committed charge lot build. He built forges at the end. He was still mining some gas, but, like, it was pretty dedicated of a charge lot push. And he was like, I don't know what to do here. I'm just gonna charge lot this Zerg. Because I don't know, man. DRG looked pretty damn good in game 1. It felt like herO, I don't know, wasn't sure what to do about those upgraded lings. His stalkers just not able to get what they needed to done. This map should be kind of interesting, though. Neo-Humanity, a bit of a weird... It's kind of our only weird map in this season. It has this center area with the inhibitor zone, but the rocks can be broken. We've seen Dark do a lot of very heavy Roach Ravager pushes on this map, where he'll often hit with like max Roach Ravager and just try to crush, usually like a Terran. I don't know if I've seen too many PVZs on this map lately, though. It should be kind of interesting. DRG, though, usually likes to play a lot Ling heavier, as we saw in game 1. He's not usually a Roach player. herO's building a Void Ray, though. Void Ray? Okay. I mean, listen, Void Rays are cool, but not the most common opening unit from a Stargate. I'd say it's the least common opening unit from a Stargate. Not counting the Fleet Beacon units, but it's kind of interesting to see him go for it here. I wonder if we're going to see more Void Rays? It is an Oracle now. I don't know. Sometimes when I see the Void Ray first, I'm like, what are we doing? And then the second Stargate goes down, and I'm like, oh, that's what we're doing. I see. I see the play here. It's kind of a... I mean, honestly, it's so 2020. Or maybe like 2021? When was the Void Ray meta? I think it was like 2021. This is so 2021, herO. Haven't you heard the Void Ray was nerfed? DRG dropping another Evo chamber in the main base. Of course, if you have one Evo chamber in your main, usually it's behind the mineral line, but here works just fine. It's guaranteed to be +1 melee. I don't know why that is, but it is the case. And that's what we're going to see here from DRG again. That's what we saw in game 1. I see no reason for him to change it up. Ooh. Oh, these Adepts just sneak right on in. They get... Hold on. I was like, they got 8 kills. No, the Oracles came in as well, and I think they got 5 of the kills. Maybe even 6 of those 9. The Adepts were just the distraction there, as herO sneaks in and just gets a bunch of drone kills. He's so good at that. It's one of his superpowers, is getting those early game kills. In pretty much every matchup, he finds a good way to just get some worker damage done. Oracle control. These days, I think, is probably the best in the world. Trap might give him a slight run for his money. This is nice, though, from DRG. He's going to try to bust through the Zealot, but the Oracles are going to stop that from happening. The Void Ray doing its best to help out as well. And only one Ling gets away. That was a lot of investment in Lings for one Zealot. And so far, these trades have been very, very herO favored. And herO's going for charge and +1. He's got the possibility of going for another big ol' attack with the Templar Archives finishing up and the Warp Prism on the way. I could absolutely see some Charge Lot Archon coming in. 7 gateways finishing as well. Yeah. I have a feeling herO's going to be attacking very soon. Not going to be quite as committed as last game, though. I think he kind of wants it to look like last game. Yeah, look, he's showing the Prism. He was showing no gases here for a while. He's taking them now. But I think DRG might start to suspect this is similar to the last game. Or he's just going to build 13 drones and then 9 more. Wow, DRG is kind of insane. He's pretty low on drones, though, so he kind of needs these drones out. herO's actually been mining quite a bit more this game, hasn't he? Obviously, the worker kills are really nice there for herO, but it feels like it's even more than that. DRG just now catching up in workers, and these 4 zealots have already killed a queen. Now they're just going to trade out with some lings. And herO, this was just a light pressure from him. Behind this, Charge Lot Archon getting into disruptors. 2 more gates finishing up as well, and so far no 4th base from herO. Let's see, is he going to go for the big attack? The disruptor is such an interesting choice. That tells me he wants the units quickly. But it's not a great combo with the zealots, really. You oftentimes end up killing a lot of your own zealots. Banelings being morphed here for DRG, but they're a little bit late to the party. Disruptor Nova coming out and is going to kill those queens. But the Ling's doing a great job here so far getting on top of these units. Baneling smashing into the zealots, but there's just too many zealots. And herO pushes through. DRG just a little bit late to getting those drones out. I don't know if he was expecting something else, but he ended up droning very late and wasn't really able to utilize the mineral income from those drones yet when herO's push hit. Big 3 base ball buster. herO got a lot of worker kills at the start of that game as well. Obviously lending very nicely into that final push. I can assure you I did not beat StarCraft. I don't even win most of my games. I don't even really play that often. It's kind of unfortunate. I wish I played more, but also, man, there's so much life. Life takes up so much time. You guys know what I mean? It's hard. It's hard to play StarCraft a lot these days. Maybe one day I'll get back into playing a lot. I don't even really play video games that often. I certainly spend more time casting StarCraft every week than I do actually playing any game, all games combined, every week. I talk about video games more than I actually play the video games. Is that weird? It feels kind of weird. I tell people I'm a streamer, and they're like, oh, what game do you play? And I'm like, well, you guys don't understand. I don't play video games. I just watch good people play video games. I watch them play them well. Like this guy in the lower left-hand corner of altitude. It is herO. Whoa. I don't know where that camera decided to go. His opponent in the upper right-hand corner is Dong Regu. Yeah, I thought about buying Baldur's Gate because everybody's saying they're having such a good time. I'm usually not... I don't know. I don't want to say I'm not an RPG person, but I'm not like a normal RPG player. Actually, Starfield was very interesting to me because I usually love Bethesda games because I do not mind doing the same thing over and over and over again in a video game. That does not bother me in the least. But I also, again, I just don't have time. I don't have time to play games these days. I wish I did, but also I've been really enjoying how I'm spending my time outside of casting StarCraft. Other than work, but that's kind of a guarantee. If I could replace work with playing video games, I would. I guess that's the whole purpose of streaming, right? But yeah, I've been like going on hikes and stuff. I went on a beautiful sunrise hike a couple days ago. It was so lovely. I mean, it hurt waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning, but the sunrise was just incredible. I need to post those pictures before I leave on my trip to Denver. So I don't forget. Try to post those tonight. Another thing I'm going to do tonight is gather the replays from today's tournament and send them out to the Patreon. So if you are in the Patreon, you can get these replays. You can get this replay that we're in this game right now. If you wanted to copy a build order, or you just want it to be cool and have a bunch of replays from pros in your folder. I remember I used to like gather replays back in the Wings of Liberty days. I would just like whatever replays I could find, I would take them. I never watched a single one. I know I still have some too. I have some random ass replays from like 12 years ago. Why do I have them? Who knows? I've never watched them. I can't even watch them anymore. Ritho, thank you for resubscribing, Ritho. Using that Prime sub. Good time to remind everybody about those Prime subs again. Welcome back, Ritho. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Oh my god, herO. herO's busting out the builds. What is this? This is a Glaives build. What? Man, I feel like I never see this anymore. I know it still happens. It is still a thing. People still do these builds. It's just more rare these days, you know? How many? Okay, there's one gateway right now. 3 more on the way now. But Glaives is halfway done already. I feel like these 2 gates are late. Am I crazy? They're probably not. herO's pretty good. A Glaives build is honestly just... There's something wonderful about it. Now, DRG doesn't get a scout in the main. He gets a little scout here. Crucially... Ooh, did he see those gates? Oh, he does see those gates. He even clicked on them there. I saw that ling. I saw the blue circle around them. He clicks on them to see what they are. They're gateways. He has 20 lings on the way. A Bane Nest started up. He has read this correctly. He saw no Stargate, and he's like, what are you doing? What are you going for there, bub? And he's gonna, I mean, he's already figured this out. He's gonna get that confirmation soon. As the Adept starts shading in. Prism does need to be careful. It doesn't want to take too much damage and become a vulnerability. Needs to be able to warp in these units. Link's thinking about a counterattack, but there's no third base counterattack. This is not like a cheeky Glaives build. This is a very aggressive Glaives build. This is too far to be cheeky. 6 gates, that's too many for cheek. herO gets out of there with all of those Adepts intact. Baneling starting to be morphed. If DRG can hold on, he'll be in a solid spot here. He stopped droning at the right time. He's got a lot of units out, but it is going to come down to execution as herO starts shading forward. A few of these Adepts dying right away. Queen's putting some pressure on. The Banelings are coming in. Ooh, these Adepts have to be careful. They're going to try to fight. They're going to try to pick up. Where's the splits? herO, channel your inner Maru. Oh my god, those are not great splits. That was some good splash damage from those Banelings. But all the Banes are gone. DRG pulls back. He's got a couple more that just morphed. I feel like he needs a few more Banes than that, but he's got quite a few Lings out as well, and some of these Adepts are very low. The Queens are helping too. Transfuse is going to be really nice here. There are like 7 Queens out. Oh, the Adept's going to get wrapped around. They go for the shade, but the Banelings are coming in. 1 Bane, 2 Banes. And most of those Adepts will die before the shade, but herO's got to warp into the main. The Adepts in the main rain mainly on the plane. I don't know where I was going with that. He's going to have to run away, though. The Adepts do not shade. They're just trying to fight these Queens. The Queens can also hit this Prism, so the Prism needs to be careful. The lack of creep spread between these bases is so painful right now. I really wish DRG would put down like 1 creep tumor here. I think DRG has just successfully held this off. The Lings are now getting on top of this, but oh my goodness, what are those? Those are invisible boys. herO's like, hey, He held off my first attack. What about the DTs, though? What about the DTs, though? The Spore Crawler is not done yet. They just started. Baneling's coming up. They're going to try to explode on top of this. Okay, they get 2 kills. But the main base is in some trouble. Does DRG have more transfuses? I think he's got to drop the transfuses. No, he's just going to tap out as he can't hold on against the invisible units. He was doing so well against the Adepts, but he forgot the DTs could come in. He was so focused on those glaive Adepts that the invisible boys won the day. And herO, despite starting out 0-1, he pulled out the book. It was a tome. Here we go. I'm going to do a reenactment. Moved his keyboard. You don't need a keyboard for this kind of Protoss play. And he just slapped down the great big book of Protoss bullshit. He opened it up. He had one of these fancy bookmarks. Opened it right up. And he said, charge lot all in. That was game 2. And then, what do we have here? 3 base. Charge lot Archon Disruptor. Had a little twist to that one. And then he went right back to the start. He opened up the Brood War section. And it said, DTs. And he was like, all right, we need to supplement. We'll add on just a sprinkle of Glaive Adepts. Book shut. It was actually a Shakespeare book, but just imagine it was the big book of Protoss bullshit. And herO pulls out the KSL win. He takes another finals. This time off of DRG.